Hey all, it's Anna again. I am up on Mount Olympus. It's flipping gorgeous. Can't really tell how gorgeous that is. It's pretty beautiful. I just wanted to share something again today. I hope everybody's enjoying a very beautiful day. And I just wanted to talk about kind of uplifting yourself. A lot of people know that I went through, that most of my life was really kind of rife with a lot of depression, and I really wanted to know, as I was taking steps towards trying to heal my thinking and heal my life, I really wanted to know how I would be able to undo the way I think about myself. So, after a lot of study, I came to realize that throughout childhood and throughout our lives, we really do code ourselves a lot like a computer, and like a really advanced computer. And a lot of that coding happens when we're little. That is kind of a little bit out of our hands. And then as we get older, we continue to condition ourselves with that same line of thinking, which means we really have to take it into our hands to choose to think better about ourselves. Most people have heard about affirmations, but they don't really think about it in terms of coding themselves. But really, that's basically what it is. If a computer gets coded improperly, oh my gosh, that is so pretty. If a computer gets coded improperly, you've got to go in and redo some coding. So that's what we do with ourselves. So about February, I want to say maybe of last year, I took that really seriously, and I started reading something to myself every single day. This is it. You can tell it's been well loved. I actually had 3 of them at one point, but I've gone through a couple moves since then. In a lot of ways, it's been a really rough and tumble couple of years, but it's been full of a lot of love, and that has outweighed anything else that's happened. And a lot of choosing to try to make my life better. And this is something that I feel like really, really helped me. I'm going to read it out loud, but I also will probably print it and share it below in case anybody else would like to, because it is really helpful. It's kind of long, but I read it at least once a day, probably twice, maybe 3 times a day for a long time, because for me, it was really a necessary step for healing. So I'll just go ahead with that now. First of all, I don't know how important you know the words I am are, but they are literally probably the two most powerful words in the universe. But as far as saying things for coding yourself, they're certainly important. So my recommendation is to always, always say this with the first 2 words of I am. And it says, again, here it is. I am a goddess. I invent my own life. Oh, I just want to add, for gentlemen, this is a really helpful practice for you too. Obviously, you can change the wording in whatever way is going to make it resonate with you more personally. But for me, I choose to read it as goddess. So, I am a goddess. I invent my own life. Oh, I'm going to sit down so that I can. Here we go. I invent my own life and live according to my own vision. This quality requires the companion qualities of imagination and courage. I am devoted to my own spiritual education, growth, and evolution. I seek light in all aspects of my life. I am autonomous. I seek no one's approval, but I listen to my own counsel, and I answer to no one. I do not try to impress anyone. My work speaks for itself. I never make excuses. I never make excuses, here we go, and rarely offer explanations for my actions. I am not defensive, for I am not threatened by what other people may think of me. I am the queen of my own life. This is reflected in my demeanor. I am passionate. I have a palpable energy and enthusiasm that is contagious, beneficial to all of those around me. I raise the vibration in group situations and inspire others. I am authentic. The mask I present to the outside world is the same as my innermost heart. I have learned to express my emotions cleanly and healthily. What you see is what you get. I know my own truth. I do not impose my truth on others. Excuse me. But I share my wisdom when invited to, and as I see fits the highest good. I take care of myself. I do not expect others to take care of me. I treat myself as well as I would treat my best friend. I am compassionate and forgiving with myself and others. I get enough rest and give my body the fuel in oxygen, the right fuel in oxygen, in food, and in water. I know what I need, and I feed my soul. I'm committed to healing the earth and working towards peace and understanding. I contribute to cleaning the environment, which I'm gonna clean up. Somebody left their garbage down there. I'll take that down with me. Excuse me. Where you at? I contribute to cleaning up the environment and teaching the next generation to do likewise. I see my body and the earth as sacred and in tune with the natural cycles. Oh, that's getting real pretty again. I don't know. Ugh, this doesn't do it justice. I'm completely comfortable with my sexuality. Raw, beautiful sexuality. I've learned to balance and have patience. I've learned flow and ebb, waxing and waning. I use ebb and waning times wisely for rest. My very, very, very old phone had to turn down, but in the meantime, look, I don't know if you can see, up there's a dragonfly sitting on that branch, a bright red dragonfly. So sweet, now we have dragonfly medicine. I'll pick up where I left off. Now keep in mind, a lot of these things I did not feel in my heart at the time. I didn't have this level of confidence and self-love. It took talking and coding myself like this. So I said this many, many times, but I'm gonna pick up again. It's about halfway through. So I've learned balance and patience, flow and ebb, waxing and waning. I use ebb and waning times for wisely for rest, reflection, and planning. I've learned to trust my inner intuition and inner knowing. I've learned to tap into this source at will. I've learned to let go of the need to control the flow of the river. I've discovered the futility of trying too hard. I've learned to ride the wave and go with the flow, to ask for and accept and help when accept help when I'm required. I am flexible, fluid, and adaptable. I've given up the need to control or manipulate. I communicate my boundaries. I'm gentle, but very firm. Especially when my boundaries are violated. I respect others' boundaries. I ask for clarification when necessary. I recognize and honor others on a similar path. I lend my support to the work of other awakening spirits. I do not feel competitive or threatened by others with a similar mission, and understand that what is good for one is good for all, and that when one shines, the light benefits all. I know how to share, and I am generous in spirit, but I know my limitations and do not give more than what I can afford emotionally, financially, physically, or energy-wise. My natural state is one of joy and gratitude. I am also at home with my shadow and will honestly mourn my losses. This last couple of weeks is truth and proof of that. It's been the best and worst of times the last couple of weeks. I honestly mourn my losses and explore my fears. I understand that everyone experiences pain as part of life on earth. Therefore, I work through my own pain with courage and dignity. Not trying to sidestep it or numb it, but to get through it and to learn from it. I'm comfortable with death. I've learned to let go of relationships, concepts, and material possessions that are worn out and no longer serve my growth. Now keep in mind, I had to say this to myself many times, but I really do honestly feel almost every single one of these is embodied in my life and in my soul and in my mission now. And I feel like a lot of people, there's a car coming, there's a lot of people that would benefit from the same vision, the same words in their mind, because every single one of us are magnificent. So I encourage you to say similar things, or if not the same thing. Like I said, I'll type it up and say it to yourself a lot, because a lot of negative conditioning is how you become someone who loathes yourself. And I know what that's like. I also know that you can condition yourself to just totally recognize how well you shine. So anyway, there's the sunset. Hopefully you got to see the end of it. And thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Love and light. And we'll see you next time. I had to pull over because this was just too pretty. Oh my gosh. I really wish you could see how like pink the sun looks. This is heavenly. All right, love you all. Bye.